Story 1, Money. I can assure you that if I were to receive even half my wages to never work again, I would take that opportunity in a heartbeat. When I am not working, I am never bored and can always find something more enjoyable to do. Story 2, Money. 100%. I'm not one of those people who would be bored without a job. I have hobbies and interests outside of work and whatever is on television in the evening. If I didn't have to worry about money, I would focus on those pursuits and never think about work again. The day some billionaire benefactor sends me a few million, I'm done. Story 3. The weekend is coming soon. Only 5 days left until the weekend. Only 3 days until the weekend. Only 1 day until the weekend. Story 4. I want to be loved and respected one day. I have dreams of being a provider for a family I have yet to meet. I want the resources to fund a lifestyle that will help my future children create their own happiness. I want a real job so that my future wife can be married to someone she can be proud of. I work hard because right now I feel insignificant. No one looks at me or cares about me, and that is the loneliest feeling in the world. But if I work hard and make the impossible happen, then at least that family I yearn for will have someone they can rely on. I want to be that pillar. It starts with the challenges I have to endure every day, probably for the next few years. Story 5. Responsibilities mean that things won't get done if I don't take care of them. However, it would be nice to stay in bed all day. Story 6. My son attends a private school and plays hockey. It is very expensive, and I do not know how I signed up for it. However, I have to work hard. Story 7. Because everything costs a lot of money, if I didn't work, my husband would likely have to work out of state to earn enough to keep us afloat. Last time he did that, we almost got divorced. Plus, our daughter is in school 8 hours a day, and we're not having any more kids, so there's nothing for me to do at home. It also helps that I absolutely love my job and coworkers. Story 8. It's a fun job. Obviously, if I had the financial means, I wouldn't work there, but I like my colleagues and the work I do. Story 9. One thing I hate more than having to go to work when I don't feel like it is missing work and doing nothing all day. Story 10. Money, boredom, loneliness. I work around very attractive women. They are pleasant to look at, providing an escape from my chaotic home life. Additionally, people are kind to me and show me respect. Story 11. Attraction to beautiful women. A desire to engage with them. A desire for intimacy. A desire to start a family with them, but not at this moment with current leadership. Loss of desire. Skipping work and avoiding tax payments, but still required to file taxes. A call to halt government operations. A demand to stop the influence of current leaders. Story 12. Knowing that all the other people in the office share my enthusiasm, we make a great team. We laugh often, and the work is mostly interesting. I enjoy my job. Story 13. These bills. Going to my second job was to fund extra expenses my soon-to-be ex-wife wanted. But now it's just going into the savings account. Story 14. How do you respond to the question, why do you want this job? In a job interview, I have always disliked that question but haven't been brave enough to reply with, for the money. Story 15. Motivation. Get my wife ready for work. She is the primary breadwinner. My role is everything in between. We wouldn't have what we do without her and her good job. Love you. Story 16. To quote Spaceballs, we are not just doing this for money. We are doing it for a significant amount of money. Story 17. I honestly don't know anymore. Maybe it's a habit? I've saved up enough to retire early, but not working feels like an unacceptable option. Story 18. Mostly poverty? Last I checked, food and shelter are essential, and money can be exchanged for goods and services. Story 19. I need an income. That's about it. I guess I don't hate the job itself. I dislike having a job, but I don't hate the work. It's a strange mindset I'm trying to understand. Story 20. I want to earn money because I don't want to be overwhelmed by bills and debt, and there is something I would like to buy. Story 21. I remember when it was difficult to find a decent job back in 2008. It was one of the lowest points in my life. I told myself to always remember that feeling and not take having a job for granted. Story 22. This hasn't always been the case, but job satisfaction, curiosity, and excitement for what the day will bring motivate me to go to work every day. We don't do things because they are easy. Story 23. The bills I need to pay to keep my family housed and fed, the need to provide items to support my son's learning and development, the desire to live comfortably, and the sense of duty to do the right thing all weigh on my mind. Story 24. I am lucky to have found a job that I enjoy. I have experience in office work and management, but now I am doing work that feels like play. I work from home almost exclusively and mostly set my own hours. Additionally, I would like to emphasize what many people have said about the importance of money. Story 25. What else would I do? How many days or weeks could I sit around reading books, playing video games, and pursuing hobbies full-time? My guess is that it wouldn't be too many. Work isn't bad. I take pride in it and it is meaningful. Story 26. A will to live is ingrained in us all. This will can enslave us, making it difficult to end our lives due to fear, pain, or failure. For example, consider the individual who threw himself in front of a train and ended up living without limbs. We often pretend it is acceptable to suffer if some potential good could arise from it, as if it is okay to torture someone just because we offer them some candy afterward. We all deny this reality. We minimize the bad and maximize our perception of the good. The truth is that events simply happen. A couple of years from now, your newborn might suffer from starvation due to war. Perhaps someone labeled a friend will attack another without significant harm to anyone. Or you might find yourself in a concentration camp 20 years from now if we fail to learn from history. Story 27. There is a girl that I am really into. We have been getting to know each other for almost a year now. It may sound cheesy, but I genuinely look forward to seeing her every day and hope for more opportunities to talk to her. Story 28. I want to cook good food in my house, for which I have a mortgage. I also want to buy things I like. Story 29. Honestly, nothing but myself. I'm fighting a battle every morning to get up and work. I dislike working and earn more than I need. I wish I could work just 10 hours per week instead of 37. Story 30. Providing for my wife and 2 children. Living a good life. Being able to afford nice things. Spending time with those who appreciate my company. Story 31. The order of things. I enjoy being an adult and acting responsibly. Having money enables me to acquire the things I like and need. I appreciate my job. Story 32. I love the team I work with. Most days it doesn't feel like work. It feels like road trips with good friends with a bit of heavy lifting involved, but mainly focused on financial success. Story 33. Feeding my children to keep them alive and happy. Feeding my dogs to keep them alive and happy. Maintaining my World of Warcraft account. Ensuring the Wi-Fi is functioning so I can play World of Warcraft. Keeping the power on to maintain the Wi-Fi for my World of Warcraft sessions. I suppose I need to shower every now and then. Story 34. I teach kindergarten in a low-income area. Many of these children come from difficult home environments. Being able to wake up every day and provide them with the love and appreciation they deserve makes it all worth it. Story 35. Knowing I get to come home and enjoy an evening all by myself. I'm in a relationship, but my favorite thing is having some personal time. Story 36. My customers, who are truly great, make work very satisfying, can even make taking a day off difficult. Story 37. Bills. I expect my payment. My cats receive nice things when I have extra money. I also find fulfillment in my job as a hospice nurse. Story 38. I need money to live. If I could never work again, I would be perfectly okay with staying home most days, just playing guitar and video games, and occasionally going out. Story 39. I am a truck driver. I already live in my truck, so I might as well. Additionally, hauling refrigerated freight means my work supports millions of people in my country every year, so there is a certain patriotic aspect to my motivation as well. Story 40. I enjoy food, housing, and the ability to travel and shop when possible. No plans for today, though. Time off for the win. Story 41. As I age, the damage I have done to my body worsens if I do not stay active. Therefore, I have chosen physically demanding jobs that keep me engaged. They are challenging, but they keep me moving. Story 42. What motivates me is that I have only a few years until I retire. Being a morning person, I enjoy getting up early, heading to the next room, and turning on my laptop. I read the current news headlines, my daily devotionals, and other emails, write my response to the daily prompt on WordPress, and check my Fitbit overnight numbers. I enjoy my job because, even though it's tiring, it offers many benefits. While I still need money to pay bills and save for my eventual retirement, I can go about my day knowing I'll be home no later than 3 p.m. most days. Story 43. My two young children are my priority. I no longer enjoy my job, but I earn a good income, and I want my children to grow up without worrying about the essentials. Story 44. Obviously, it's about money. That's the main reason for working in the first place. I don't hate my job, but I definitely wouldn't do it for free either. Story 45. Money is essential. Anyone who claims otherwise is misleading. For my family is true, as work provides the income needed to support them. For my kids is similar. Story 46. My kids. I am just trying to make sure they have a better life. If working 12 hours a day and getting up at 3 a.m. contributes to that, then I am committed to it. Story 47. My children and their futures, along with the resources needed to make their dreams a reality, are important to me, as is my own future. Story 48. Well, Chuck, I'm quite fond of not starving and not being homeless. I would say those are two of my main motivating factors. Story 49. I always wonder what it would be like to be wealthy enough not to work every day just to get by. If I were rich, would I just lie in bed all day? Would boredom consume my life? Would I fall into a spiral of drugs and alcohol? Would I develop strange fantasies just to feel something? Or would I join a cause to keep myself busy? I often say I wish I were rich, but you never really know what the other side would be like. Maybe it's better to live from paycheck to paycheck. It keeps you busy, and the motivation is to sustain yourself and your lifestyle. Story 50. Regrettably, I am still on this planet, and continuing to do so requires all of my time and money. I need to ensure I can remain here longer. Story 51. Going to work is easy. Picking up extra shifts is the hard part. When I need motivation, I look back at my W-2 form to see how much I earned in overtime and on-call pay, and I commit to working for another month straight. Story 52. I do not work as a stay-at-home mom, but I'm motivated by my kids to get them all fed and ready for school. I have 4 kids, so if I'm not waking them, they're waking me. I never get to sleep in past 7 a.m. Story 53. Am I part of a minority when I'm motivated by the work I do rather than the money I make from it? I understand that many do not have the option and must take jobs they don't find enjoyable to make ends meet. But reading the comments here, it seems like everyone hates their line of work. Story 54. The satisfaction I derive from a job well done and knowing I have contributed as a member of society. Story 55. Bills and I like to be productive, focusing on job growth and learning something new every day. Story 56. I need money to feed my dog. If I didn't have my dog, I would quit and go back to my mom. I still could because she adores my dog, but I cannot financially burden her like that. Story 57. Other than money to pay bills and enjoy life, it keeps me from being bored. I quit my job and planned to take a year off from work to go back to school, but I was so bored after the first 3 months that I got a part-time job. I'm back in the workforce now with a different perspective and new boundaries to avoid burnout again. Story 58. To keep a roof over our heads, provide food for the family, and ensure my kids have clothes and shoes. Story 59. Escaping family life for 8 to 12 hours a day? No, I love my family. They are my driving force to be responsible. Story 60. I dislike my workplace, but I enjoy my job and the small team I work with. We mostly manage ourselves, as long as we complete our tasks and meet deadlines. It's quite relaxed. Story 61. It's an obligation. To say I am motivated would be an overstatement. There is societal conditioning to be gainfully employed as well. Coupled with the need for money to meet basic needs, we have an explanation for my situation and likely for many others in the United States. Story 62. If I didn't have a job, I could keep myself busy with hobbies. I like to garden, paint, and exercise. However, I need money to purchase those goods and services. Now, I have no energy or time to actually engage in those hobbies. Story 63. I like money. Jokes aside, money pays for the house, vehicles, and retirement eventually. Keeps the family happy and allows us to do interesting things. Story 64. I have an amazing job with great colleagues whom I enjoy spending my days with. Work serves as a social outlet for me. They motivate me to go to the gym every day, and I know I'm healthier because of my supportive work environment. Additionally, I feel well compensated and have ample annual leave available. Maintaining a good work-life balance keeps me motivated to continue this for another decade. Story 65. Motivation has nothing to do with it. It is just what we do. If it helps, engage in more challenging activities outside of work, such as exercising and studying. That will make work feel effortless. Story 66. I used to work in the corporate world as a media professional. I was a supervisor for creative teams. When COVID happened, my wife and I traveled for her job as a medical professional. We ended up near my brother, who has a rare condition and needed a lot of assistance. We became involved in his life. My parents were too old to manage the complexities of his care, so we bought and renovated a house near him. He decided to live with us. I continued working remotely for a while, but we eventually secured resources to support his caregiving, so my wife and I are now his full-time caregivers. I get up and care for my brother every day, and it's the happiest I've ever been. I'm also developing tools using artificial intelligence for him to use, hoping to help others in similar situations. I feel like I have a real purpose now. Story 67. I work to live and I live to work for my boss. The tax authorities don't care either way, as long as taxes are paid. Story 68. Money. After realizing you're not good at love, you find yourself alone, without a biological family and without a tendency towards substance abuse. Money is the only thing that can provide a sense of safety within reason, allow you to maintain a healthy life, and enable you to visit places that offer short-term satisfaction, as long as you don't use it as an escape but as a reward. So, money. Story 69. My dream career requires me to save money right now in order to move to my dream city and start from there. Holding that vision motivates me to wake up every day and go to work, even though my current job doesn't feel fulfilling at all. However, I am moving towards a more fulfilling path. For now, this will do. Story 70. Bills. That's it. If I didn't have bills or had enough money to avoid going to work, I'd still get up to feed my cats, but then I would crash on the couch afterward. Story 71. I just want to stay at home. In order to do that, I need to work so I can pay the rent for my home. This is frustrating. Story 72. It makes me sad to see all the money-driven comments. Don't get me wrong, money is a factor and is our most basic modern survival need. However, for me, I love my job and that's what keeps me going each day. Money can always be made, but waking up, fulfilling my purpose each day, and enjoying it is what motivates me in the mornings. Story 73. A solid paycheck and, to quote Captain Reynolds, a strong need to eat sometime this month. Plus, I enjoy what I do. Story 74. My dog motivates me to wake up and go to work every day. I want to make sure he has plenty of food and toys. Story 75. For me, I don't need anything to motivate me. I enjoy my work at a storage and shipping facility that sells ice cream. It is basically a giant freezer with an inside temperature of minus 24 degrees Celsius. You use a metal box on wheels, 1 by 1 meter, to stack the ice cream and then bring it to the truck for delivery. It is a very cool environment, and the people there are great and supportive. Story 76. Retirement. I am 40 years old, and before the trade policies changed, I was on target to retire in a couple of years. I am definitely scared, but I keep buying index funds every week, hoping that things turn around. Today's low price felt like buying at a discount. As it stands, I have not spent my paycheck in about 5 years. We live off my wife's salary and invest mine. Story 77. My benefits include health insurance, a car, gas, car insurance, and a 401k. These are essential for me even if I don't work. I appreciate that I can obtain these benefits at little to no cost. Story 78. Money is used to buy things in a larger size, as I am convinced that I will lose weight and wear them next summer on my vacation to Cancun. Story 79. Freedom. I am a self-employed construction contractor, and I get up every day to earn money to ensure that necessities are paid for, allowing me the freedom to enjoy time with my family. There is no better feeling than being able to spontaneously take a day off or more just to spend time with my kids. Ultimately, if you are a responsible adult, you find yourself in a cycle of working to live in society. I see money as my ticket to freedom and the ability to do whatever I truly want. Story 80. I don't have time to be motivated. The alarm sounds at 6:40 a.m. I use the toilet, take a shower, and have breakfast. I pick up my 2.6-year-old child and take her to school. I work, eat, and take a siesta. I continue working, visit my kids, and then return to the apartment to exercise at home. I have dinner and watch something on a streaming service or play a video game, either a series or half a movie. I read in bed before sleeping. This routine repeats. But then comes Friday and everything changes until the next cycle. Story 81. Keeping my home and being able to feed myself and my dogs are my priorities. I cannot stand people who love their jobs so much. I've seen coworkers post online about another reason they love their job. It makes me feel nauseous. Story 82. I love my job and don't mind going in at all. I even have an hour commute to work. I appreciate my coworkers, the company, and the work. I am finally being paid well. Story 83. I like my coworkers and enjoy my job at the library. All the patrons who come in are very nice. Story 84. If I didn't have my own area of respite and peace, I wouldn't be able to function. I work to achieve solitude. Story 85. My wife and son are my priority. Each day, I wake up, start my wife's car before she leaves, and wipe her windows to improve her visibility. Then, I help my child get ready for school before I go to work after dropping him off. I may not have much, but everything I do is for them. Story 86. For the first time in my life, I feel like I actually enjoy my job to a reasonable degree. I work for a good company and get paid fairly. The people I work with are mostly great, and those who aren't can be attributed to the various inconsistencies of mankind. Nothing is ever perfect, and those people are not that bad. I've had jobs where I would get yelled at almost every other day, so someone being a bit irritating at times is not a big deal. My job has a lot of variety and many opportunities for learning and advancement, although I don't feel like climbing the career ladder. It's just not my thing. Overall, I am quite happy with my job. It's physically and mentally challenging sometimes, but they actually acknowledge that and care. When issues arise and the lines go down during a major breakdown, management understands that mistakes happen, people are human, and fixes don't happen instantly. The only thing that will get you in serious trouble is if you do something blatantly unsafe, or if you make a mistake and do not try to learn from it. For instance, I made a bad assumption while recovering from a fault I handled, damaged some equipment unknowingly, and caused about 40 minutes of downtime. Later, I realized my mistake, and the next time, the fault was resolved much quicker because I learned from my experience. There were no write-ups, no yelling, or even bad vibes. That is why I get up to go to work, to learn. Additionally, I work in industrial maintenance for a major automotive manufacturer, to be clear. Story 87. I have developed costly habits such as dining, staying indoors, and buying clothing. I need to support these costly habits. Story 88. Despite hating every job I've ever had, I have been poor and homeless. That is a special kind of hell. Work is the lesser of two evils, even if my pay is not great. Story 89. Putting 2 valedictorians and 1 salutatorian through long years of college, it looks like all will end with advanced degrees. Work until you die and watch camp movies to feel better about it. The downside of having a wife much smarter than I will ever be. Story 90. I genuinely find my job interesting and fulfilling. I work with victims of crimes and feel that most days I am making a difference in their lives. However, some days are challenging, and I motivate myself by looking forward to a sweet treat if I get up on time. Story 91. I need money to retake my Computing Technology Industry Association certification exam. I want to buy an engagement ring to propose to the woman I love and strengthen our long-distance relationship. The job is completely boring, but it provides me with plenty of study time in the morning, so I can excel on my exam and, hopefully soon, leave this place to start my information technology career. Story 92. Insurance. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so it is definitely needed. Additionally, I need money to pay bills and live. Story 93. I love my job. I have driven trucks since I was 22. Now I'm driving 32-wheeler heavy-haul B trains hauling steel. It's an easy local job from Monday to Friday, paid hourly, with no more drug tests because there are no more border or American issues. I'm as excited to go to work on Monday as I am to go home on Friday most weeks. As of yesterday, with steel tariffs, I am actively helping Americans hurt themselves, which is fantastic. I load and unload trailers for the long-haul drivers. All the steel is going south. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.